Hi, my name is Siddharth Varde and this is Unity Advanced Mat2 Answer7. So the first question is, in which situation would you choose to use a scriptable object instead of a prefab, right? So uh, the answer to this question would be whenever there is only data that changes, right? So let's say, for example, and there are no functionality changes. So let's say that an example of a player, and let's say it's a 2D game, or for now let's say it's a 2D game, and the player has abilities like the speed, different, there are different variants of a player, and each variant will have a different sprite, but the functionalities are same. It can move but with the different speed, right? So let's say player A, B and C. A can move with the speed of 5, B can with 10, C can with 15, but like A can jump very high, B can jump medium, and C can jump very low, like that. So there are only details that are changing, and then, as I said, like even in the visual, that is just a sprite that is changing, right? So in that situation we can say, okay, instead of creating 3 different prefabs for our player, we can create 3 different scriptable objects for our player, and on the runtime we will decide, okay, which scriptable object to change to, and then we will use the sprite and the details from that scriptable object, instead of like creating 3 different prefabs, right? So that can be helpful and easy. Second question is, what are addressable, what is their use case, right? So addressables are nothing but, like, downloadable asset files for our game. So their use case is mainly to create downloadable content, or to create different skins in our game, or let's say like we don't need to update our app, but we need to like we need a few changes, like we need to add few functionalities, or let's say there is a new in said in the last example, I used the example of players, right? There are 3 types of player. Let's say we have created a 4th type of player, that is also like using just a different sprite and different it's a different variation of a player, right? So it's not an entirely new player object, it's the same player object but with different just a minor different variant, right, of the player. So in that situation, we can create an new scriptable object, we can define it as a addressable, and then like on the runtime on the player, all it needs to do is like check if there are any addressables that are it needs to download. Then if there are, then it will download it, and it will use them. So like without updating the game, we have make a DLC kind of thing, right? So it's a downloadable content from inside the game, where where player will download the data in the backend. So like it will start to download, and it will download inside the game, and it will download all the data, and then it can reuse, like it can use that data, right? So that is those are addressables and the use of the addressables. I guess. Thank you.